Welcome back to another video. This is going to be the weekly forecast as well as the daily forecast for Monday. The reason why I'm doing this forecast today instead of the weekends is because we have very huge geopolitical event happening during the weekends. So there's no point in me making a weekly forecast when I'm anticipating like a gap opening, like a huge gap opening for the indices or basically the futures market itself. Okay, so right now what we have over here, the daily chart, we can clearly see that price is trying to gravitate towards this equal lows down here for ES, for Nasdaq, and for Dow Jones, these two lows right here. So the easiest draw on liquidity would be those lows, and I think that would be the draw on liquidity on Monday. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we do have Jerome Powell testifying, so it's going to be slightly difficult to trade. Not impossible, but just difficult. I think it's better for us to wait for Thursday and Friday to get an idea of where the expansion is going to be towards. I think that is clarity, right? So I would be bearish until this equal lows are taken out for this week. Very simple. Okay. Moving on to the currencies. Right, on a weekly time frame, we are still bullish. A daily time frame, we are trading within this daily range from this swing low to this swing high. We have reached the discount level on Friday, so I want to see if for this week we can gravitate towards the swing highs. Okay, I'll be bullish until this low is taken out. Okay, easy. For British pound, if you look at it on the weekly time frame, we are bullish. We have reached into a bullish fair value gap as well as 50% of this current dealing range on the weekly time frame. On the daily, even though it seemed like it has shifted bearish, to me this is more like a false market structure shift. So same as euro, I'm bullish. Eventually I'll be looking to take out this high right here. New Zealand dollar and Australian dollar, they are bullish, but the price action on daily and the weekly, as you can see right here, this is the daily time frame, it's very fickle, a lot of back and forth. So try not to touch this two currencies. I think for yen futures as well, yeah, same thing. Canadian dollar is bullish, traded into a bullish PD array with displaced higher, two down close candles. We have this down close candle touching them, tapping into them, closing above this down close candle. This is more or less a proportion on the block. Returning back into this candle, you want to see the 50% of the range respected. So either 25% or 50% of the range of this down close candle should send the price higher or form the low of this retracement from the high to whatever price that it wants to. And then we would like to see continued upside. I don't want to see price trade back into this fair value gap. It should be a breakaway gap in my opinion if we are going to take out this high for the next 2 weeks, including this week. Oil and gold, very volatile due to the world events that are happening. For oil, I don't see anything other than bullish prices. It's been like this since 2 years ago, I think. I mean, on the higher time frame, it is bullish, so we should stick to the higher time frame. And right here, we have the shift on the weekly. So I do anticipate price to take out the highs over here. I think I mentioned this last week as well. And then for gold, same, I'm looking for higher prices. I would be specifically focused on this down close candle right here, same thing, 25% and 50% is technically a proportion order block. Any retracement back into this candle here would be a buying opportunity. Of course, you have to wait for the lower time frame confirmation, right? But if we trade back into this down close candle, we would be effectively taking out the previous week's low. I think that would be a very good total soup combination as well. Yep. Until we close below these two up close candles, I do not see any downside for gold, so I'm still bullish. Bond, bearish. Okay, for many weeks it has tried to trade above the 50% of this current daily range, but it is unable to close above. Okay, so over here you can see week 1, week 2, week 3, 3 candles trying to trade and close above the 50%, but just unable to do so. Long term, I'm still bearish on bonds, right? Right now it's in a bearish order flow, and then I'm looking at this low right here as my target objective. It's just that right now it is very, very choppy. Over here on the daily time frame, you can clearly see the amount of back and forth that price has presented itself. So very difficult to trade. Just wait for a displacement lower, and then it should be primed to drop. All right, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this session here, and I'll talk to you again once I see a trade set up for me.